Hello. This is kind of spontaneous, so I didn't comb my hair or anything. Um, so today, my mom went out of town. She left today about 6 hours ago. And and I'm having some anxiety, like bordering on panic. You know, my chest is tight, my scalp muscles are tight, and I just feel like I just don't know what to do with myself. Like I have this swath of time and I don't know what to do with it. It's my schedule is altered. My fairly rigid. It's because I have to do things that my mom usually does. And I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. Or I don't have the right words. I can understand it in my head. It's like being in a little boat in the ocean and not being able to see land, just sort of afloat. And I would have done the things I do when my mom was here without a problem. Like, oh, I have to go pick up those copies at the press, and I have to run up to the store. Do you want to go? Do you need anything? And now it's just me. And I feel really anxious about it. I don't and almost not. I guess because I always knew I had, if something went awry, something went wrong, something as minor as a flat tire or something, but that she was like a phone call away, or I could just call and ask a question, and now she's across the state or on the way across the state, and I'm on my own. I would have this type of anxiety when I used to make videos a long time ago. And I have no idea why I'm glitchy. I hope it doesn't come out bad. Anyway, I lived in this little apartment, and for a while my mom just lived down the road. And then she moved to Texas. And so I was alone in the apartment, and I loved my apartment, and I loved that it was mine and that I had that independence, but I would have these panic attacks about being alone, like not having somebody that can come and help you, physically come and help you. And I would have those panic attacks really bad at night, because the Seroquel, before it was extended release, it kind of compounded the anxiety, the panic attack, and it made it. Then I thought I was dying because I thought my heart was going to stop and I was all alone. But I always had, even though I liked it, I always had that sense of insecurity. You know, I'm all alone. And I'm not really all alone, but the feeling. And also, when she's away, I spend most of my time downstairs so the dogs don't get lonely or bored. So I'm not in my cocoon. But like things, when she's here at the house and I go and run errands and go do dog training, I don't have that sensation. But when she goes to visit relatives across the state, I have that anxiety of being. It's very difficult to put into words because it's kind of an existential. It's kind of a, it's not a very tangible place to be. So I don't know. I think that if you experience the same thing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then you may not get it. But anyway, I tried doing like busy work and get things done. I'm afraid I'm gonna forget something, and I don't have that issue because I have my ways of making sure I remember to do things. But I have this, I keep checking my watch. My watch has to say the month, the date, and the day of the week. Or I am lost. And so I just finished a dog's course today. So on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I train. And here it's Thursday, and I already feel like I'm forgetting all of them. And I keep looking at my wrist to remind myself the day of the week. I always get ready the night before. And so I'm like, I have this weird sensation that I need to get ready for all of them now. It's all glitchy. Pissing me off. Excuse my language. I know that Xanax will help relieve this. The CBD doesn't really help for this type of sensation. this is different. I and another part, and I don't know if anybody else has this, when I'm alone, part of my anxiety is two other things. Here in Missouri, every day is a tornado warning. I mean, you can't, every day it's so hot and humid during the day, and there's a little cooling at night, and it's just expected. So we never know. We've already had to be in the basement, which is difficult with two geriatric dogs that you have to carry up and down the stairs. And I almost fell backwards with one. And luckily my mom was behind me and caught my back and pushed me forward. But I'm worried about, oh no, what if we have bad weather and I'm here all alone? I'm going to be here alone for the 4th of July. So I hope the dogs don't act weird. And the other thing is, this is what I mean by, if anybody else has this problem, is anytime there's a disaster on the news, I get this, and I know I can't be the only one, but it like adds to my normal everyday anxieties. Disasters make me feel so, it brings to the surface the realization of how random life and death is and how cruel it can be, and we are completely at the mercy of chaos. And you put your life in people's hands and they screw up and people die. But so now I obviously I live in an older house, so I'm paranoid that our house is gonna crumble and collapse, and I'm just all kinds of disasters. There's gonna be a fire and we're all gonna die. Even as shallow as there's gonna be a fire and all my whole record collection's gonna perish. Tornado, fire, and so I just replay in my head what I'm like, for those people, I hope the building fell fast and they were asleep and they didn't have a chance to know what was happening. And then it makes me nervous about driving, because you can be doing everything you're supposed to do and somebody else decides to get in their car well over the limit of alcohol intake. And because they made that stupid decision, your life's over. So then I get nervous about driving. I did something really funny the other night. I was having trouble sleeping. It was a small bout of mania, and I had been considering going to my favorite band's concert, but I wasn't sure if I liked their new album enough. And so at some point at night, like late, I got it in my head to just check and see what the seating is like, because when I went last time, I made sure I had a seat that I would feel secure in, because the whole thing was overwhelming. And yes, I went alone, and it was an awesome experience. So I can do this again. Part of the process was during the daytime, my mom and I went to the spot that the concert would be at to get a visual before the concert, which I will anyway. I didn't really intend to go ahead and get tickets, but I was looking just at the seating and what that arena looked like, theater looked like, and I saw that good seats were going fast. So I like to be in the balcony towards the front, and they had one that was perfect. I'm like, it's getting to be, see, I couldn't do it on my phone or my tablet. Sometimes I just have to do things on my laptop because I don't know. It's the only way I can interface with the internet. And my internet was slow, and I was getting frustrated, and it was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and I'm trying to look at different ticket sellers to see who had what for what. And I got so wound up, and I knew I would not be able to get into my bed and fall asleep until I had a ticket. But another part of my brain was saying, you don't even know if you really want to go. And I was like not really completely conscious, I guess, because when I woke up in the morning, I had to go and look. I think I got tickets for Sleater-Kinney. And did I? I had to look it up and found out I did. So it looks like on August 12th, I am going to see Sleater-Kinney. And I remembered it was because I found good seats cheap. So I'm wondering if any of you have had that happen with mania. You're just like, I just want to check, and then it's no, I'm probably gonna buy, and then it's, I'm not gonna be able to rest until I have this in hand, you know. In a normal mood, I would have waited till the next day and probably would have chosen to not go. So, but I had to do something because I was just like speeding. My brain was just going faster and faster. And it's all I could think about. I'm very hyper focused on this one thing. And I just wanted it out of my head so bad that I had to do something about it. Now, I haven't had much mood changes since I started using the CBD. I had a little bit of irritability, but there were some answers for that. But I do recognize that this particular instance was a blip of mania. Yeah, because I was like, I had a sort of psycho. I had the tickets. Having the tickets had a meaning that wasn't logical, and I had put meaning on these tickets and going to this concert that was a result of mania. You know, when you give things more, when you special, your mind makes them more special. There's like a connection. It was meant to be. Magical thinking, kind of. I know I'm saying a lot because my brain, the anxiety is keeping me from speaking. So I'm supposed to mow the lawn. I thought, well, maybe a little physical exercise might help. I don't know why, but I always feel better when I have this kind of anxiety, this, oh my God, I'm alone anxiety. During the day, it's the worst. And evening, it's the best. It goes away. And then late at night, because I have a fear when I am alone in a home. Sorry, I've had to kill 2 wasps in the house today, and I thought I just saw one. I have a fear when I'm alone. I have a fear that when I take my medication that I have been taking for years and years and years, that I'm going to take it and die in my sleep. And so then I panic. Anyway, I do want to mention, as you have heard, I live with my mom, and I kind of have the upstairs space. She has the downstairs space, and we eat dinner together and watch some TV. It's required. I have to be in her presence for so many hours a day, just to make sure that nothing, because way in my past, there have been incidences where things were really off and I didn't know. So I need another person who knows what I go through and can say, "You okay? I've noticed this and this. You okay?" So, with my mom, what was I gonna say? I have no idea. But I forgot. I hate it when that happens. Part of the problem is because my memory is so off. I have developed ways to, adaptations to allow me, but I will ask the same to this day. I ask and I ask and I ask, what day does the trash go out? We've lived here for years. It's been the same day. And I just cannot understand if it's Wednesday or Thursday. And I have to ask. And there's a lot of things that are like that if you did not know what ECT was and how it could affect your memory years down the line, you would think maybe I don't pay attention. I don't know what you would think, but sometimes I look at something and I can sit there and I can tell you how to do it. And then I look down at it and I can't understand how to get from the beginning to the end product. And it helps if somebody shows me. I don't remember really well for the next time. So, I don't have that person. And I forget things, like flat out forget them when my routine is disturbed. And it gets, and so then I worry. And so not having that person around, because it's constant. I ask my mom every day, at least once, a question like, do you think I was thinking about, this was conversations we had about the bookmarks I made with the wood burner on leather for bereavement gifts to my Michigan family whose, my sister died in the car accident. And I was thinking of making bookmarks. Do you think I should do that? Do you think that would be a good thing? And I was making them, and I just kept asking and asking that reassurance, because I can't maneuver in my head how other people are going to respond to something. So I have to ask, is this a good idea? Or should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? What do you think would, it's like there's a pathway that has been disconnected. And so I think part of my anxieties about being alone, subtract the disaster worrying, but the fact that I don't have that person to, should I mow the lawn now or should I wait till it get cooler? Should I, that's my day. I'll ask my mom to even come upstairs to look at something. I'm like, I have to get this straightened out. And I was thinking of doing this. Do you think that would work? Do you think that would help? How can I do that? How can, it's just, there, like I said, there's a, ECT destroyed some decision-making pathways for me. And that's part of the anxiety, is I don't have someone to ask those questions. Who knows my history and knows I'm not being annoying, and she goes into doctor's appointments with me because of my memory. I'll leave stuff out and she's like, and when they ask about stuff, she's like, and your memory, don't forget to, don't forget that. But yes, so I think that's at the root of it. Not having someone right here to alleviate some of that anxiety of uncertainty, even in small things. Difficult to make decisions on my own. And I may have had that problem beforehand, but since the ECT, which was many years ago, my memory has actually improved. It's like I said, it's like there's a pathway that isn't there anymore. And, but for a long time, for years after, I had entire chunks of my past childhood and just chunks of life were erased. And I didn't really mean to get into that. I'm just trying to do the sort of Freudian thing and ramble on. See if I could come up with an answer. And I think that is it. It's because I don't have that person to answer those questions or help me answer those questions. She doesn't always just like say, do this, do that. She'll like guide me through the process of decision making. And sometimes she gets frustrated and she'll be like, I don't know. And then I get frustrated and angry. So, anyway, I'm hoping to do a live. I'm probably might wait till tomorrow. Wait, it's Thursday. I don't know. I'll see what I'm doing tonight. These may be out of order though. I've been thinking about every few months I stop and think, is it really worth doing videos? And I guess if any whoever, if I just if I start getting thumbs down, not everybody gives me a thumbs up, but if I start getting a bunch of thumbs down or something, maybe I'll stop. But as I see it right now, I have reason to keep doing them. Yeah, so that's where I stand on that right now. So I hope you don't have any of these issues, because they kind of suck, but I feel a lot better having talked about it. I'm not as anxious. What time is it? Yeah. So, I have an errand to run. I will talk to you guys later.